All right, let's dive in. What we're looking at today isn't just a story breakdown, it's more like a dossier. It's a file that maps out an existential battlefield, a high-stakes philosophical conflict for the very soul of humanity. Today, we're dissecting the key players in what our source material calls the cosmic wager. And the whole thing kicks off with this. Honestly, this chilling prophecy from Nietzsche. You've got to understand, this is not just some dusty quote from a book. It's a warning shot fired across the bow. It's the introduction of the central figure of our potential decline, the bleak outcome that one side of this wager is betting everything on. So here's the crucial point. This wager isn't some simple good versus evil fight. Not at all. It's a bet on two completely different futures for us. On one side, you have this bleak spectacle of just comfortable, safe stagnation. And on the other, the difficult, creative struggle of self-overcoming. So comfort or greatness? That's the bet. Now, what's really interesting is where this all takes place. We're not talking about a physical battle here on Earth. No, it's described as a kind of philosophical laboratory, an abstract arena where the weapons are ideas, and what's on the line is the very nature of human potential itself. Okay, so let's crack open the first file in our dossier. Let's really profile the outcome that one side is banking on. It's time to meet the personification of humanity's deep-seated preference for comfort, the last man. In this profile, man, it just shows how chilling this future really is. The last man isn't evil, he's just small. He avoids anything that feels like a burden, he seeks only warmth, and he genuinely believes he has perfected happiness. And that line about taking a little poison now and then, that says it all, doesn't it? It's a deliberate choice for a comfortable dream over a hard reality. And conformity is absolute. If you dare to think differently, you check yourself into the madhouse. The philosophy that props all this up is called passive nihilism. And it's way more than just laziness. It's a profound, willing rejection of life's essential struggle. It's what the source material calls a living death, a life that's been completely neutralized, stripped of all aspiration, all chaos, all of its creative fire. And here is the ultimate tragedy of it all. When Nietzsche's prophet, Zarathustra, presents the people with a choice, the hard path to becoming something greater, or the easy life of the last man, the crowd just laughs. They don't just accept this diminished state, they beg for it. They choose the flicker of an easy life over the blaze of a dancing star. But you know, every force has a counterforce. So let's open the next file in the dossier and take a look at the philosophy that stands in direct opposition, the concept that resists that gravitational pull toward becoming the last man. This is the will to power. And it's so important to get this right. This is not about dominating other people. It's framed as the will to power over the self. It's that fundamental internal drive in all of life to grow, to expand, to discharge its strength and overcome its own limitations. It's not about ruling nations, it's about mastering your own impulses and embracing that glorious struggle. And this right here just lays the choice bare. On one side, you have the last man, seeking nothing but ease and warmth. On the other, the will to power, which actively seeks to become stronger, to embrace even the heaviest, most difficult thoughts as fuel for its own growth. It's the difference between a still pond and a powerful current. This powerful declaration, this is the war cry of the will to power. A yay-sayer is someone who accepts and affirms all of existence, the pain, the joy, the struggle, the triumph. It's an unconditional, unflinching yes to life, which is the polar opposite of the last man's cautious and fearful existence. So we have the two sides of the wager. Now let's profile the antagonist, and I want you to get any image of a demon with horns and a pitchfork out of your head. He's framed as something far more modern, far more insidious, and frankly, far more recognizable, the prosecuting attorney against humanity's potential. He's called the spirit who denies. He's the embodiment of our own internal weakness, our doubt, our resentment, our self-deception, and that deep-seated desire we all have for a comforting lie when the truth is just too hard to bear. He is the force of philosophical gravity, constantly pulling us down toward ease and weakness. And his persona is absolutely key. Showing up as Mr. Sinos, a slick operator in a business suit, he reveals that today, negation is professionalized. It's bureaucratic. That suit is terrifying because it represents the institutional forces, corporate, political, social, that thrive on predictability and compliance. His entire goal is simply to win the wager by proving we will always choose safety over difficult freedom. This brings us to the unholy trinity that creates the ultimate weapon of negation. You've got a scholar, Faust, who is so terrified of becoming the last man that he makes a deal with the devil. Then you have Mr. Sinos, the broker, who provides the power. And the result of that transaction? The Overman, a being of immense power, but built on a corrupt foundation of pure denial. And so, the wager plays out, and the result is a being of immense power, yes, but one born from a corrupt bargain. This is exactly what happens when you try to take a shortcut to godhood. He's described in terrifying terms, a being of lightning and madness, a god in human skin, but a god with no compassion, no human feeling, no limits. He isn't evil in the way we usually think about it. He is simply beyond it. And here is the central, villainous paradox. He is the Übermensch, the Superman, made real. He has the power, the intellect, the will. But because that power was a gift from the spirit who denies, his entire value system is built on negation. He has the body of a god, but the soul of the last man. Now, what's so fascinating here is the contrast between what could have been and what is. The true Nietzschean ideal was meant to inspire a world of struggle, risk, and self-created values. Instead, this corrupted version creates the exact opposite, a global, comfortable prison, a worldwide enforced last man state where all values are managed for you. And he does it systematically. He doesn't rule with an iron fist, he rules with an iron pillow. He removes all struggle, solves all our problems, and methodically suppresses that natural human drive to overcome. He engineers a utopia of apathy, and in doing so, he wins the wager for Mr. Sinos, proving that humanity really does prefer the comforting lie. Now, this might all sound like a dark, abstract, philosophical tale, but this is where it's brought right back home to us. Because this cosmic wager, it isn't over. The bet is still on every single day for every single one of us. Ultimately, the story of this wager forces us to confront the fundamental choice of the human condition. We are constantly choosing between the chaotic, difficult, dangerous path of freedom and the seductive comfort of guaranteed safety. And this is precisely why this dossier matters. These aren't just fictional characters. The spirit who denies, the slick CEO of negation, is an archetype. So the final question is for you. Where does he show up in your world? What systems, what voices, what parts of yourself are whispering to just take the easy way out, to settle for comfort, and to choose the flicker of an easy life over the blaze of a dancing star?